needless to say, in order to maintain good relations with these companies as well as other companies within the Russian maritime market, a good relationship will be required with the Russian government. And this leads me into my last point, the target market, the GOSTAR certificate of conformity. This is a required, health and safety regulation that companies that are exporting into the Russian market must apply for. PricePump's industries are almost wholly within the GOSTAR mandate, so it will be critical for PricePump to adhere to this guideline as well as any other guidelines that are in place in the Russian market.
I will be addressing the SWOT analysis for PricePump. For our biggest strength, we're trying to focus a lot on the AOD line. It's the strength of our whole company. It's what we're basing a lot of this entry into Russia on. It is, as Rachel has stated before, very efficient. It's a lot better than our competitors, and we believe that excuse me, that through the innovations of our AOD line and through its environmentally friendly design, the not use of oil and everything like that, that it will be a big seller in Russia, and a lot of people will try to invest in it. The benefits and costs of an AOD pump from PricePump outweighs its competitors because in the long run it turns out to be a lot cheaper because competitors who buy a cheaper pump end up paying maintenance costs and mainly energy costs, which is going to be a very big promotion for PricePump, as we'll be saving our consumers some money on that. For weaknesses, we do need to start building a bigger connection in Russia. We're not very experienced on our placement there. A lot of companies don't actually have any sales representation there, so we are trying to build a presence. For opportunities, Russia is a new growth market, and we do believe that the maritime business there can expand very quickly, especially with the type of product we're offering. It's a matter of really establishing a powerful distributor. And as far as threats go, as Joshua has said before, some of our competitors, such as Thomas, do have sales reps there, so it's pretty much gaining the first step advantage in getting brand image out there.
Okay, so our market entry strategy. So we're planning on working with really strong and reliable distributors. Once we enter the Russian market, we need to be able to trust them, and we need to know that they have experience working with outside companies and bringing in pumps and distributing them to legitimate companies. So what we would do is we would manufacture them in our plant in Sonoma, California, and then PricePump would ship them over to Russia, as they have with all their other companies, distributors that they're working with. So we also need to be sure PricePump needs to have full control over the promotion and the placement of their products, because that affects their brand image. And they also need to utilize trade shows. Okay, so brand strategy and price. So we definitely have to emphasize the advantages of our company, which were mentioned before. We have really great, PricePump has really great customer service, and they're always fast with shipping if there are any problems at all. The AOD pump, we said, it's oil-free, emissions, it has less parts, and so on. So yes, we're going to focus on the Russian market, and we were thinking about bringing in a brand champion who would definitely be able, he would be a manager within the PricePump company that would be able to focus more on the Russian market. They need to be sure that they're PricePump companies putting in a lot of time and effort into this, and maybe not focusing on other things outside of the Russian market for now if they're really serious about getting involved in it. And also just to mention price, roughly each AOD pump is $7,000, and I mean based on like the exchange within Russia, we'll see how that turns out in the long run later on.
With regards to the product and service, one advantage that we do have is that the AOD pump is standardized across all markets. There's no major adaptations that we need to make, that PricePump needs to make to alter the AOD pump for the Russian market. PricePump needs to focus on promoting its extraordinary service, 24-hour part replacement for all of its pumps within the United States and worldwide, as well as performance testing for all of its pumps that are shipped out to its clients. In addition, with regards to price, PricePump will have to work with its distributor to make sure that they find a correct competitive price in the Russian market that will allow it to better compete with its rivals for the Russian market. Yeah, this is the PricePump website. As you can see, Era-operated diaphragm pumps get like front page view. And keep going.
Yeah. As we said before, it's essential for PricePump to find the right distributor in the Russian market because we're going to be entering through them. So we want them to have a lot of experience going through a lot of the bureaucracy and running through the right channels. So we researched one of the bigger distributors we're looking into right now is Kronstadt, and they are actually only working with one other U.S. company currently, Gould Pumps, and they actually do not carry an AOD line. So we feel that they are the most established one who would be very enthusiastic about picking up our AOD line and being able to distribute it and promote it correctly in the Russian market. The second one is Ost-West. They're also based in Russia and have had somewhat experience with the AOD line, but these are the two companies that we're stressing to PricePump to look into to distribute.
In order to figure out the proper advertisements for the Russian market, we feel that advertising in Maritime Market, a quarterly trade journal for the maritime industry, and particularly in Russia, would be very advantageous for PricePump. It consists of the actual magazine, which shows the general trends across the maritime industry, as well as a web component called setcore.ru, which has daily news of the related industries. Advertisements go anywhere from 500 euros for a quarter page to 1,000